We're just hearing that Nick Timothy has resigned. There was, of course, a lot of pressure on him and Fiona Hill, the Chiefs of Staff, following the campaign. Your reaction to that? Can Theresa May survive without them?
Yes, she can. She couldn't survive with them, and that is the absolute reality. Nick Timothy was one of the architects of this social care policy, which so derailed us. As I said, he helped introduce the social care policy, which attacked our core supporters, which were the elderly. They're the ones who tend to vote Conservative, and they actually do go out and vote. And so what we were telling them was that we were going to rob them of their winter weather payments, that the asset that was in their house was not going to be left in its entirety to their children if they had care at home, and indeed the triple lock was going to go. So the only thing that was missing from the manifesto was compulsory euthanasia for the over 70s. I mean, it was a daft and bonkers attack. And you've now given me some really good news, which I think is going to help assist Theresa May staying as Prime Minister, which I wanted to do, and that is that Nick Timothy is going to go. A lot of the blame for the social care policy, which absolutely torpedoed our campaign, lies fully square with Nick Timothy.
Should Fiona Hill go as well?
I'm not sure about Fiona Hill's involvement in that. I don't think that her fingertips were on that care policy. So I'm open-minded about that. But what I'm absolutely certain about is that those who had the involvement in that manifesto, that put in so much poison into a document that turned off so many people. Rob Wilson was absolutely right. Rob Wilson, a Member of Parliament for Reading, who's lost his seat, lost his ministerial job, he said that it is the worst manifesto he fought on in his memory. It certainly was the worst election manifesto I can ever remember in my parliamentary life. It was awful. And compare that to what Jeremy Corbyn was offering, which was he was offering free tuition fees to students. They turned out in their droves to vote for them. Free childcare for young mums and parents. They turned out to vote. It was all full of promise. Nobody cared who was paying for it. Nobody cared that there were massive black holes in their document, because we couldn't really attack that because we were too busy fighting fires that we had lit ourselves under ourselves. It takes some achievement when you start an election campaign with a 24-point lead, when you are absolutely assured, or as Tim Farron said, that we were going to coronate Theresa May as Prime Minister, that we would do a landslide victory, and we turned it into an absolute disaster, a minority government, and now we have to rely on the votes of another political party. It was an absolute disaster, and it all stems from the launch of that manifesto campaign, which derailed our own campaign. The manifesto was a complete leadweight around the feet of so many of our members of Parliament who've lost their seats, and so many of those candidates who had mortgaged 6 weeks of their lives in order to fight seats with Labour majorities of fewer than 5,000. They were assured of victory, and none of them won.